And I think something else Brian and I were talking about is we noticed in the description, like talking about fear and overcoming fear. And the session we had right before this also dealt a lot with fear. And I think fear is a big thing this year. And so Brian and I admittedly say we wake up scared to death every morning. And so we've all got it. And I think it'll just be a cool inspirational story. And we're excited to see what Milan has brought to the table. And you guys feel free to tweet, live tweet, hashtag Den Startup Week, hashtag designer track. And yeah.
Turn it over.
Turn it over. I guess we're pre-recorded, but we might go live. Milan is used to working on the fly, so something's gonna happen, everyone. Thanks for coming.
The Public Works is a Denver, Colorado-based design, fabrication, and multimedia marketing firm that allows your company to craft an authentic presence to your target audience. For the past 15 years, the Public Works media team has been telling stories with words, pictures, and films. Our unique approach to brand storytelling allows us to get strong reactions and results from our content. We work in experienced and nimble teams with our crew of producers, directors, and cinematographers that all have first-hand experience and international presence. We are fortunate to have amazing clients that allow us to get wherever we need to go with the right tools for the highest production value. Lots of people can take a pretty picture. Just look at Instagram. While we believe our images speak for themselves, what really sets us apart is our decades of experience, our network, and our ability to make shit happen when it counts. We love bringing unexpected partners together to create added value for everyone, and most of all, we love when we finish a job confident that we've not only executed, but elevated the end product, and we know that everyone involved enjoyed the process. Our company was founded on the idea that life is about learning and teaching through every experience. We apply a strict discipline of work hard, play hard, and make great fucking work. We amplify awesome. We surround ourselves with the best and feed off of infectious innovation, ideas, collaboration, and building long-term friendships and partnerships. Contact us anytime for a meeting at our office, golf course, or on the chairlift.
Hello and welcome to Be a Braver Creative, Lessons from the Broncos Sidelines. My name is Milan Klusacek and I'm honored to be your presenter during Denver Startup Week. And before we go any further, I want to draw your attention to the bottom of this slide with our sponsors for this year. And without them, this event wouldn't happen. So a big thank you to our sponsors. A little bit about me. I've been a creative for 20 years, various areas, design, print, digital, product, also video and animation, a bit of everything. And that's professionally for 20 years, but really as a kid, starting with my first Atari, I've always dabbled with these things. And all that to say is I get you. This is a designer track, so whether you're a designer or creative, I can relate to a lot of things from the past 20 years. And I wanted to structure this talk in a way that would resonate with you no matter what step you are on this journey. Besides that, I'm checkmate. I grew up in Prague. I'm a dad of 4 girls, and these days work as the creative director at Red Canary. And a big shout out to my Red Canary family right here in Denver. And for the past 7 years, I've been working as a digital content creator with the Denver Broncos, and I've really have experienced situations or these experiences that really put me way out there, like confronting my fears to the max level, and have given me the opportunity to really push myself and learn a few things. And that is really what I wanted to capture in a way that hopefully it would be helpful, not just if you're on the field or have anything to do with football. You don't really have to like football, but really as any creative could benefit from or any really human could benefit from. So I'm excited to get started. So here's how the Broncos all started. So one day, 2013, Vine was a new social network, and I had some downtime at work, so I decided to just duct tape my phone to a laptop holder and make this stop motion Vine. That was pretty fun. And then a little bit later, one of our salespeople, Jack, and never forget this favor, but he was in a meeting with the Broncos, and they do have cool chairs like this, or at least back then. And they were saying, like, for Vine, they didn't really have a creative resource or bandwidth. And he says, look, I know somebody, look, here is a Tic Tac Vine. And they said, we like this. Would he be willing to come and do one for the game? So this is how it all started. They asked me, would you be able to come in? And I climbed up to the 7th story of the scoreboard, and I did a stop motion Vine of the stadium filling up. And it was quite the experience of being there with my iPad mini. I think that's what it was at that time, next to those big broadcast cameras. And they're all looking at me like, you know, which one doesn't belong in this setup? Like, you with your little phone, like, what are you doing? But no, everybody was great. And it was a great experience. And really, that's when it started. Next week, they asked me to come again. And 7 years later, it's been quite the journey. And even though sometimes it gets dangerous, like on this one at the bottom, I'm shooting a Vine and there's players flying around, I have been making content ever since. Things have evolved over time. So some of the things I've been a part of is making game trailers and running behind players out of the tunnel and just realizing how fast these guys run, and me just trying to, as he's jogging, I'm trying to like sprint with my heart out, trying not to trip, to some game day content, really up close and personal look to like behind the scenes of just to get fans as close as possible to the action and capturing some of the fun moments, to non-game day content to create engagement during the week, and as well as sponsorship content. So those are some of the buckets that I've been involved over the 7 years. Now, today, if I could put you like here, bring you all with me onto the field and through those experiences, that's what I want to do. I want to invite you on a journey with me to the sidelines and share a few stories and lessons that we could learn and benefit from in order to grow as creatives. Here's the first one: excel at the ordinary. Now, there was a time when I already shared the first Vine, and what happened after is, well, I went to sit down in the press box, and basically I wanted to do more or shoot more or go on the field, but there really wasn't a need for that at that time. Or maybe it was just the fact that they didn't really know me just yet. They didn't know who Milan was, what my intentions were. Did I want to really add value to the Broncos? Or do I want to build my own Instagram following and just let everybody know, look, I'm cool. I get to be on the field, on the sidelines. Look at me. And what I'm saying is I didn't really have their trust just yet. And so the next game, I would shoot another Vine. I bring it for approval, and either it was approved or not approved, but the rest of the game I kind of sat out. And that really was the majority of the first season. And what I decided to do is just focus on earning trust, delivering good work, and the very simple things, such as if they want me somewhere at a specific time, I'm going to show up on time, and I'm going to show up prepared. And whatever the assignment was, I'm going to come prepared to deliver exactly what was asked or beyond that. And I would take some time at home, and I would just get better at the basics of stop motion. And I practice at home, set up the lights, turn my tripod in all kinds of weird ways that it worked to get different angles, even upgraded my rig to feature GoPro, which I didn't really use, but it looked a little cooler. And I wanted them to know that if they think stop motion or Vine, that they would think Milan is our guy. And by the end of the year, they called me their Vinologist, and they begin to bring me in to some projects they wanted to do. They're fun to do, like this Thanksgiving, turning turkey into football, and projects like that. But by next season, I had developed enough trust to be able to go on the field and to unlock a new level of freedom to be able to produce more content. And that's one of the lessons. Here's a question for you. Are you willing to excel at the mundane for a season in order to earn trust? And I see a lot of creative people saying, listen, I'm ready. Like, I got the skills, like just set me free, like let me do that. And I think that's great. That's amazing. And I don't doubt that for a second. But do you have the trust yet? Can people trust that you have their goals in mind, their best intention, and not just your own? And sometimes that takes time. And sometimes you got to be brave enough to even step back and say, just for a season, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to maybe humble myself and just do my best work at the mundane things for a season in order to open some doors and earn trust. All right, here's lesson 2, bounce back quickly. You know, I have learned that mistakes are going to happen. And no matter how much you sweat it and how much effort and how much double and triple, quadruple checking you do, you're just going to make a mistake. Whether it's on the field, and I'll show you a couple duds that I created, like this one, for example, right? The Falcons were coming to town. Let's make this promo like the Falcons going to land on the building and the Broncos are going to come up and shoot a fireball from the eyeballs and just kill the Falcons. Great. No, it was rejected flat out. And, you know, it was great thinking as a fan, like, yeah, I could make that and just like, great. But as a brand, that's a totally different perspective, a brand with sponsors and that, you know, it's just, it wasn't putting the Broncos in the best light. Let's just say that. So that one was rejected. And this one was posted, but the fans literally just crazy feedback, just horrible, like, and, you know, and that one, I admit it's just super random, but that feedback really kind of got to me, right? So I think about moments when I was not just on the field, but like, you know, in big presentations where I maybe regret I've made some mistakes, like I didn't deliver my best, or I didn't say the things I wanted to say, and it just starts to eat at me. You know, like on the inside, I just made a mistake. I'm really bummed, and I'm like internalizing it, right? So here is the way that I approach these mistakes. So there is like a constructive way and then a destructive way. So let's begin with the constructive. And that is asking yourself, okay, what can I learn from this experience? And what will I do differently in the future after making the mistake? Thirdly is to simply let you embrace, just be bummed. Okay, it's fine. I'm bummed. I made a mistake. I'm a human, so like I'm gonna also experience all that emotion and regret and all that stuff all at the same time. But I also ask myself these questions. Now, I do so for a period of time until that thinking becomes destructive. Now, destructive thinking would be things like, I knew it all along. I'm just not fit for this. I can't do this, right? And so that's not helpful to anything. And that's just being destructive to yourself. And so what a healthy balance could be is to allow yourself some time. So I tried to go for 24 hours. I read a creative book and talked about 48 hours, but some time to just process that mistake and allow yourself to feel it. Ask yourself those questions. But then when that time period is done, you get up and you get back to work, right? You're brave or creative. You're not going to linger in your mistakes and allow yourself to self-destruct anymore. No, you pick yourself up. You have learned your lesson and you move on. All right, let's go to the next lesson. Learn to manage the imposter syndrome. Okay, I remember this very moment. It's Super Bowl 50. It's a couple days before Super Bowl, and I'm shooting this very Vine stop motion when the weight of the exposure comes to me, and nearly crushes me. And I realized like, okay, millions of people are watching this content. Then we had Twitter and Instagram reaching out and saying like, we're watching every content, we're posting it in these special channels. And for me, the weight of these pieces that I work on just on my own and posting, being scrutinized by millions of people, it came down crushing, and I wanted to just vanish. And so it was like this roar. And if you may be familiar with the imposter syndrome, but this is kind of what that looks like in your head. It's thoughts like you're fake, and not only you're fake, but people know it. And if they don't know, they're gonna find out. Like you don't really know what you're doing. You're a failure. You suck. There's some way better people who could be here in this moment, way better than you, and you should just go ahead and go back and do something else. You know, that's not as risky. And that's sort of the thinking that was so loud in my head. And of course I started like, now that triggered like the comparison game. Then I started to like look up all these best stop motion like people. I said, yeah, I mean, they should have just paid them to be here, right? That's what it came down to. And so that was a near self-destruct moment right there. But that surfaces all the time during work, and many creatives will tell you the same thing, and you have probably experienced it yourself. So here's one thing that I did in that moment that was a turning point. I tried to just forget about millions and forget about any sort of featured channels. I thought about a single fan for the Broncos. And I thought, would this fan right there, that the people that I create this content for, would they enjoy this piece of content? Just one person, that's it. Forget the rest. And if the answer is yes, then there is a good chance that others will enjoy it as well. But I'm gonna just create that for that one fan. And you know, that really helped me, put me at ease a little bit, let go of that pressure, let go of that comparison, and came back to that tic-tac time, like tic-tac vine. Like, remember, it was just about having fun, have a good time. But there's some other practical things that you can do when it comes to the voice of the inner critic. The first is to realize that your inner critic is not telling the absolute truth about you. There may be parts of the truth, but the voice that is in your head is distorted truth. It's not the truth, right? You got to recognize that. The second is to stop and ask yourself, what would my best friend say? And, you know, your best friends may not be as honest with you either, absolutely honest, but it may provide a healthier balance. And the third thing I already mentioned is we shift focus from yourself to adding value to others, you know, thinking of that one fan. Even here, recording this talk, I wrote down a few names above my camera, if you could see the other view. And I'm speaking to Lisa and Brad and Emily and Tanner, some of the people who sign up for this talk. And I didn't want to just talk to a camera. I'm talking to people. I'm talking to you guys, right? So I wrote that down, and it's just, okay, that helps me to focus and tell the inner critic, the imposter syndrome, to go away. Help me to manage that. Okay, the next lesson is sometimes you just got to go for it. And I really like this one. And again, coming back to Super Bowl 50, standing on the sideline in halftime. And I have these credentials that says I can be on the field at halftime, but nobody was going on the field from like the photographer's video crew. And I asked, are you guys going on? And they said, no, I don't know if we can. And it was like this moment where I wanted to provide the best possible angles for to post out there for our fans to be able to view it, which means I had to zoom with my feet. I didn't have a zoom lens. I zoom with my feet, so I got to come closer to the action. It was kind of that moment of decision is like, am I gonna, when I run on the field, am I gonna get tackled by some sort of SWAT team descending from the sky, or not? I don't know. I hope not. And I decided just to go for it and run on that field. I look, no one's following. And I get close to Beyonce and started like recording some of this footage and posting it and get, you know, get this crowd gathering around me so tight I couldn't even move. But this content, and specifically this one on the right, became the top looped vine of the whole Super Bowl experience. And looking back, it's a great analogy. It's on the other side of this fear, where it just kind of took some courage to just get out there, was something that produced great results, ended up being a great memory. I really like this quote. This is from the movie We Bought a Zoo. You may have seen it. If not, quickly set up the scene. There's a boy and he likes a girl. He's too afraid to tell her. And so this character, Benjamin, he comes in and he tells him this, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage, just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it. Well, he took that advice to heart, and I don't want to give the movie away, but it was a good thing for him, right? And I think of us as designers, as creatives, being in those moments where we're in the midst of a meeting and there's this idea that pops up, but it takes courage to raise your hand and say something and share it, or to reply to a thread somewhere where you see clearly from your perspective there should be some feedback given, but you're just too afraid to pull the trigger on it. You don't need to be brave all the time, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to muster up a little bit of courage, and sometimes you just got to go for it. Just say, it's okay. This may sound dumb, but I'm going to share that anyway. Because you know what? You go for it. Don't be surprised if things happen in your favor. If things turn out great results. So here's our Be Braver reflection. When is the last time you really went for it? What is one step you can take that will require you to be daring? All right, next lesson. We got a couple more and then wrap up. Leave no time for pouty. Now I know this could be like, wait. Like, you telling me I'm just sharing my experience, right? That's it. So back to Super Bowl. I remember getting the phone call from the head of digital at Broncos, and he said, Milan, would you be interested in joining our team in Super Bowl and recording some things like you've done in the past few years? Well, it didn't take me long to say yes. Yeah, absolutely, I am. I'm pretty sure I cried right after I hung up. I did. And then I remember getting on the charter plane, being in the hotel room, saying, great, now the email, the text, the phone call is going to come. It's like, this is how we want you to be a part of things. And, I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. Hours come by and direction is not coming. And I'm starting to feel sorry for myself, just starting to pout. Why did they bring me here? I'm just here alone, sitting in my room. Nobody really cares I'm here anyway. Why am I here, right? Dumb stuff. And then I realized, okay, kind of the out-of-body experience where you see yourself in the hotel room and, okay, this is Super Bowl. I'm here in my room pouting. Is there another option, right? How about the one that says, I don't need to wait for a prompt. I can just begin generating value all on my own without waiting for anybody to tell me. So I began to brainstorm these ideas that I started sending their team, and sure enough, the response came quickly. Go for it. Go make that happen. Yes. And again, the shift in mindset produced some great results. This is being in, this shot is from Super Bowl City. I got to visit the Twitter headquarters, which happened somehow at the same time, which was a dream of mine, and meet some of the, some famous actors and things like that, being at the party. And of course, some other great memories, right? Winning the Super Bowl and being a part of those moments. On the way back, meeting this moment was when I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Milan. She says, I'm Italy. That was her first name. It's like, Milan, Italy? No way. That's amazing. So just some great moments after I had to reset my mind and say, I'm just here to add value and not to always have to wait for permission or for direction. And the same, it really goes in our workplaces. One thing I hear a lot is, my boss is so busy, I'm just sitting here I don't know what to do. And well, one challenge you can take on is, well, you understand the goals of your team, you understand the vision of your company. What can you do to add value to the company? And then just start sending that feedback to your manager, to your boss, and just start proactively make things happen. Some questions: is there an area of your life where you need to start adding value rather than feeling sorry for yourself? All right, now one final one, and one that I'm quite excited, and that's pay it forward. And this one comes from a realization. So one of my favorite leadership coaches, John Maxwell, he talked about the difference between success and significance. Both are good, both are great. And success is when you're adding value on your own. That's about you. That's about you crushing your role. That's about you growing your skill set and being an amazing contributor. Nothing wrong with that. It's amazing. That's success. Significance is when you take some of that, what you know, and you help others step into success. And in the context of the Broncos, one thing I was watching is all these camera people on the field. They have these assistants. They do different things like carry their camera cards. I don't know what they do, right? So I asked, could I have an assistant as well? And I was told I can. And a wonderful thing happened to where I can both bring in people who add value to the Broncos organization through their unique perspective, or really understanding latest trends, or really being passionate about the football team and can give me some direction. At the same time, creating a lifetime memory or amazing memory for them. And so here's just a few people that I've been able to work with. And this piece, to me, above the success or the opportunity to be at Superbowl, to do all these great things, when I look back, I think of a lot of these faces. And when I think of the greatest reward, it would be found right here. Be able to have a small part in someone else's success. There's a great quote that I like to refer to. As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. And if we can take this approach to our workplaces, to our team, let me just tell you this: you don't have to be a team leader. Well, if I was just the creative director, that's exactly what I'd be doing. No, you can start no matter where you are. You could be a junior designer, just starting, and simply just using your words and your ideas to build up others. One great practical advice I heard is, anytime you think a thought that would add value to someone, like a thought of encouragement, as no matter how simple it feels, share it, don't bottle it, but be a channel of encouragement to someone else. That's impacting their life. That's making a difference. You know what? Right now, in this season in our lives, we could use more encouragement. We could use more people who share hope in their teams. Couldn't we? I think we could. So be braver. What one person could you invest in and push toward their potential, not just your own success, but investing into the success of another? So that is it. Those are a few lessons I wanted to share. And I want to leave you off with a challenge. When it comes to being a braver creative, that's the title of our session, Be a Braver Creative. Which one of these lessons resonated with you? And I challenge you to take one step. Just take one of these and take one step towards being a braver creative. Everybody could take one step, right? And so again, this is not just for your own benefit. This is not only so that you can succeed, but that you can help others succeed as well. Before we part ways, I do want to share one resource with you. This is from my creative coach, Mark McGinnis, and you can find his website right there at lateralaction.com. Well, he wrote a great resource that I want to recommend to you as creatives. 21 insights. They're short chapters you can do on your own or with a team. And of course, I would love to connect with you. I love to network with fellow creatives. If you have 4 girls and these days work as the creative director at Red Canary, and not just your own success, but investing into the success of another. So before we part ways, I do want to share one resource with you. This is from my creative coach, Mark McGinnis, and you can find his website right there at lateralaction.com. Well, he wrote a great resource that I want to recommend to you as creatives. 21 insights. They're short chapters you can do on your own or with a team. And of course, I would love to connect with you. I love to network with fellow creatives. If you have additional questions about this content, if you're wondering how to get started, or if you just want to connect and network, please let me know. My website is on the screen. Well, it's been my honor to be here with you for this session, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the Denver Startup Week.
Thanks everyone for attending, and thanks Milan so much. One reason we chose Milan from the submissions, and we're really excited about working with him, as he has such a great attitude, and he's exactly the kind of person we like to work with at Denver Startup Week. So thanks so much. That was awesome. And we want to take the blame for any technical difficulties. We're still figuring it out. Milan did everything right. It's not him, it's us. So anyway.
Thanks for the opportunity. And I think it's posted on YouTube as well, right? Many people are asking about the points. And
yeah, I think what we're doing is we're going to play all the recordings next month.
Okay.
I'm not sure that they're on YouTube right now, but yeah, when they're played next month, they'll actually look the way they're supposed to. But
awesome.
It was awesome. We just love your way of thinking and your attitude. You're not an imposter.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all you do this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.